Ito ang inyong lingkod na nagbabalik upang magbigay ng mga balitang walang bias at pawang katotohanan lamang. Ito ang Bayang Pinas. Ang isyong ito ay naging usap-usapan sa buong bansa at iba't ibang social media platforms. Ngunit bago tayo magtungo sa actual na video ay tayo muna ay magbasa ng mga komento, hinaing at opinyon ng ating mga netizen. Kahit anong paninira nyo, Tatay Digong pa rin kami. Kaya tulungan natin ang PDP lineup sa Senado, Attorney Marcoleta, Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, Attorney Vic Rodriguez, Senator Bato, Senator Bongo, straight po tayo para mawalis natin ang mga kurap. Barber should be ashamed comparing PRRD to Marcos. Marcos is way too far compared to PRRD. These politicians are so embarrassing, they make a fool of themselves worldwide. They should focus on what Filipinos need and how to improve the country rather than wasting its Filipino citizens' money. God bless Philippines. Dapat sa mga member ng Quadcom tumutulong sila sa mga nasalanta ng baha at bagyo, tumayo at lumabas sila paminsan-minsan at magbigay ng pagkain sa mga nangangailangan, hindi puro imbestiga. Hayaan na natin yung mga Quadcom kasi pang funding din sa eleksyon yan. Alam na this how much, especially dyan sa chairman dyan. Balita ko tagilid ang laban kaya need funding pang bilihin ng boto. Bakit di matanggap ng administrasyon na talo sila sa galing ni Tatay Digong? Kahit anong paninira nyo kay FPRRD, kaming taga Mindanao lalaban kami to protect Tatay Digong. In aid of legislation, di ba fishing lang kayo para makabuo ng batas na linalatag mo? At kung may makita kayong nilabag sa batas, ang witness ay isampa sa DOJ, hindi naman kayo nasa Justice Hall. Well, para nga sa kabuang detalye at impormasyon ay panoorin na lamang ang buong video. At salamat na rin sa ating mga solid viewers sa walang sawang pagsuporta. At kung bago naman sa ating channel ay syempre huwag kakalimutang mag-subscribe, pindutin ang notification bell, piliin na rin ang all upang laging maging updated sa mga balitang bago, totoo at walang bias dito sa channel ng Bayan, ang Bayang Pinas. Huwag din pong kakalimutang mag-iwan ng like at i-share ang ating mga videos. Muli po mga kaibigan, maraming salamat and God bless!
Sa drug war, Attorney Sal, and ano ang end game ng lahat ng pagdinig na ito, Attorney Sal?
Una, last week pa, sinasabi ko na, kasi tinatanong na ako ng mga kasama ko sa media, kung papayuhan ko daw, Presidente, ano ba ipapayo kung atin o hindi. Una, sabi ko, hindi mo kailang payuhan yan. Pero kung akong tatanungin nyo, sinabi ko na ang mga kadahilanan kung bakit hindi na kailangan. I told the reporters, and I talked to the President, I think 2 days ago, and expressed my thoughts on the matter. And sabi ko sa kanya, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see you attending that Quad Committee for the following reasons. Sabi ko, number one, there is nothing more you can add to what you have already told the Senate Committee. Ang dami mo na nga sinabi doon, kahit di ka tinatanong, nagbigay ka na ng mga pahayag mo. So wala akong maiisip na pwedeng itanong sa'yo na hindi mo na nasagot doon. Katunayan nga, bago-bago na nga yung mga pahayag mo doon, ng mga kalaban mo. Number two, sabi ko, since it is unnecessary for you to go there, it goes without saying na it will be a waste of time also for you to go there kasi nga nasa Davao ka, lilipad ka rito, palagi kang may staff, may security, gagastusan mo na naman yon. Stay ka rito ng ilang araw, saan ka ba kumukuha ng pera? Sabi mo nga, wala ka naman trabaho na. Diyan ka lang sa retirement fund. Di kawawa ka naman. Waste of time na, waste of money pa. And waste of taxpayers' money pag tinutuloy nila yan. Yung mga ginagawa nilang hearing in aid of legislation na hindi naman.
Kaya dapat ho talaga itigil na ho ng Tuwad Committee yan. Sa bagay, hayaan ho natin yung mga yan, nagkakamali ho sila. Hayaan lang ho natin, pagbigyan lang ho natin sila sa kanilang pagkakamali na yan. Akala ho nila maraming naniniwala sa mga kabalinto ng pinag-uusapan dyan sa Tuwad Committee. Di ho nila alam, ang sambayan ng Pilipino, lalo lang hong namimiss itong si dating Pangulo Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Totoo. Kasi nga, until now, they haven't shown to us any proposed bill kaugnay dito sa war on drugs na sinasabi. Pangatlo, sabi ko sa mga reporters at kay Presidente Duterte, from the very start, I've been saying, if you have evidence, file the cases. Ba't di nyo pinapile? Ginagawa nyo, nag-grandstanding lang kayo. Palibasa, mga re-electionista kayo. Kaya ginagawa nyo. So, mabuti naman at yun din ang nasa kaisipan ng Presidente Duterte. Kaya hindi na siya attend. Siyempre, mamaya gagamitin naman yan, sasabihin naman yan, natakot siya, Takot. Pailan nyo ng kaso kung gusto nyo. Matagal na kayong hinahamon eh. Ang problema sa inyo, but you cannot blame them also. Mga politiko, re-electionista. Pagkakataon na. Libre. Publisidad.
Libre, may budget pa yan. Ha? Ang laki daw ho ng budget ng Tuwad Committee na yan. Every time ho na nagsasagawa sila ng hearing, napakalaki daw ho. At matindi dito, yung mga malalapit daw kay Speaker, di umano 2 milyon, yung medyo malayo-layo, 1.5 milyon. Di umano.
Pero Rizal, sabi ng mga netizen, hindi po ba natututo yung mga critics of former President Digo Duterte na sa tuwing sinisiraan siya? Like, for example, Attorney Sal, 3 days before the presidential election, naglabas sila ng black propaganda against him. But ano ang nangyari, Attorney Sal? The more naging curious yung mga tao sa kanya, and the more he gained votes doon sa election. You think, Attorney Sal, the more the former president is being persecuted, the more din tumataas yung awareness and dissatisfaction ng mga tao on how this government is handling the drug war?
Ay, di ba palagi nating inaawit yung hayan na naman sila. Hindi na kayo natuto. Totoo yun. Alam nyo, akala nyo ba nagagalit si Presidente Duterte sa ginagawa niya? He's laughing. He's so amused. He loves it.
Ano lang mga gullible lang ho maniniwala sa mga sinasabi nitong nitong mga congressman na to. Kasi kung hihimayin ho natin kung ang totoong nangyari noong 2016 up to 2022, pinakahuling araw ng panunungkulan itong si dating Pangulo Rodrigo Duterte. Dinatnan ho niya ang Pilipinas, grabe, sabog-sabog talaga. Hindi lang ho yung pamahalaan, pati yung mga tao sabog-sabog. No, talagang napakadaming bangag, napakarami hong walking dead nga yung tawag nila dun sa mga di ba? Wala na hoy, kumbaga sagad na sila, kumbaga yung natin, yung society natin talagang lugmok na lugmok nung dinatnan nitong si dating Pangulo Rodrigo Duterte. Noon hong iniwan niya, napakaayos. Kaya mamaya, sosoplakin ho natin itong si Ace Barber sa pagkukumpara niya ng datos noong unang 2 taon ni Tatay Digong at unang taon nitong si Bangag Marcos Jr.
Kaya palagi sinasabi, bring it on! Enjoy nga siya. Kayo naman, akala nyo, inaasar niya, kayo nga naaasar eh. Kayo nga nagre-react, kaya nagmumukha kayo mga tangiya tuloy.
At there is a posibleng maharap sa mga kaso ang dating tagapagsalita ng Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission o anyang PAOK matapos manampal sa isang raid operation sa Bataan.
Okay, ayun na ho mga kababayan dito sa bahagi ng video natin na to. Eto mga kababayan, pakinggan ho natin ang mga kasinungalingan at mga kalokohan na sasabihin nitong si Robert Ace Barber sa kanyang opening salvo dyan sa Tuwad Committee. Game.
Question, vetted,
Sagutin ho natin
contested.
Sagutin ho natin punto por punto. Game.
Forced admissions in any way was never part of Quadcom. We may not have extracted yet the information fully from them, but we never put words in their mouths. Whatever testimonies and affidavits they presented before the Quadcom were given by them freely and voluntarily. We may be accused of providing entertainment and likened to a gag show, but who is laughing? On the contrary, the one who said that must be so full of himself that he didn't notice that the joke was on him. We are not here to pin down nor exonerate anyone. All we wanted was to know the truth.
Truth. Ang truth dyan, yung amo nyo galit na galit kay VP Sara sa mga Duterte, yun ang truth.
Same truth that the people have been longing for, most especially by the families of murder victims and the victims who survived. We intend to use these truths in crafting legislation, some of which we have already filed, as well as make recommendations to any agency to plug loopholes in their systems, if any is discovered. If along the way, people are found to be liable, it is our duty to make sure that justice is served. There is nothing funny about it. We only mean serious business. We have
Wow, serious business daw
this
sila.
point because in the course of the investigation, we found very disturbing facts and questions needing answers. We owe it to the people. As public servants, we pledge loyalty to them. They trusted us and voted us in office. We serve them. We will not use the Quadcom to exonerate ourselves and proclaim our innocence in the face of overwhelming evidence. Now, if I may, I invite all of you to look at the screen and see
Yan. Tingnan nyo ho yung screen ha. Tingnan ho
the
natin yung
inconvenient
screen.
truth.
Oh.
These numbers are
Yan, convenient truth ha. 2016, 2018, 2022, 2024. Ganyan ho kaanga yang si Robert Ace Barbers. Ganyan ho siya kaanga. At yung staff niyang nagbigay sa kanya niyan, ganyan ho kayo kaanga. At yung mga Pilipino maniniwala naman dyan, ganyan din ho kayo kaanga.
Are from the official PNP reports as published
Okay.
both then and recently, last October 21, and not just made up stories by the Quadcom. Ikumpara po natin ang unang
Yun.
2 taon ng Duterte at BBM
Oh.
administration.
Oh.
Tingnan po natin ang total ng krimen o tinatawag na index crime volume. Sa unang 2 taon po ng Duterte administration ay nakapagtala ito ng 217,830 na krimen. Samantalang sa parehong panahon naman sa BBM administration, ang krimen ay bumaba ng napakalaki. 83,059 o nangangalugan na pagbawas ng 61.87% sa index.
Ganyan ho nila lokohin yung ating mga kababayan. Anak na tawa. Anong pagpasok ni Digong, sabog-sabog ang Pilipinas. Paglabas ni Digong, maayos ang Pilipinas. Pagpasok ni Digong, marami ho talaga nagurgur kasi maraming krimen. Paglabas ni Digong, wala na ho. Kumbaga, marami hong nabawasan na krimen. Ngayon, papasok itong si Bangag. Pustahan tayo paglabas ni Bangag. Kung magsasagawa tayo ng war on drugs, marami na namang magugurgur. Kasi iiwan na naman ho nilang magulo ang Pilipinas. Kaya yung comparison na yan, pang may saltik lang ho yan. Pagka naniwala kayo sa comparison na yan, naku, wala na ho talagang asenso Pilipinas. Ang dali-dali niyong utuin. Ikukumpara nila dalawang magkaparehas na taon. Nakita niyo naman kung paano dinatnan ni Tatay Digong ang Pilipinas at paano niya iniwan noong bumaba siya bilang presidente. Sira, may tama ka ba, Ace? May saltik ka ba, Ace? Ako nagtatanong ako dito, paano mo ikukumpara yung dalawa na yan? Hindi pwedeng ipagkumpara yan. Inayos ni Tatay Digong 2022 up to nung dumating itong si Bangag. Ngayon ikukumpara mo nung dumating si Digong na ang gulo-gulo ng Pilipinas. May tama ka ba, Ace?
crimes. Any claim to the contrary is but a figment of the imagination and if not, a propaganda. Pangalawa, tingnan po natin mula July 2016 to December
Yun.
2017 ay may mga namatay o pinatay na 4,354 sa mga police anti-illegal drug operations habang 16,000 naman at 355 naman ang pinatay ng mga riding in tandem at mga di pa nakikilalang mga salarin. Noong 2018, inilagay ng PNP sa kategoryang HCUI or Homicide Cases Under Investigation na umabot sa talang 23,327. Samantala, mula July 2022 hanggang katapusan ng 2023, ang bilang ng mga napatay sa mga legitimate police anti-illegal drugs operations ay 73 lamang po. Pangatlo, may kabuuan na 115,435 na anti-drug operations na nakalikom lamang ng 3,294,44 kilos ng shabu na nagkakahalaga ng 18.43 billion pesos sa unang 2 taon ng dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte, habang sa mas kakaunting anti-illegal drug operations lamang sa parehong panahon sa BBM administration ay 84,676, subalit nakalikom na mas maraming shabu na umaabot sa 6,481.16 kilos.
Di nga, kasama ba dyan yung sa Alitagtag drug hall? Ano nangyari doon sa driver ng Alitagtag? Anak ng to, kaya yabang yung mag... Ano kayo? Kayo na ngayon PCO? Kayo nang nagpapaliwanag para dito sa administrasyon at ano yung mga facts yan? Kung talagang mga facts yan, ano nang nangyari doon sa driver ng photon van? Kasi ginugood time nyo na naman kami, anak ng topa. Ginugood time nyo na naman kami. Huwag kong ganyan. Huwag nyo kaming good timing ng ganyan. Ayaw namin yung mga ganyang klaseng bulada sa Ace Barbers.
The anti-drug campaigns under former President Rodrigo Duterte from July 2016 to July 2018 and the current President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. from July 22 to early 2024 represent contrasting approaches in tackling illegal drugs and the crime in the Philippines. While both administrations aim to reduce drug-related crimes, their methods and resulting outcomes reflect significant strategic and operational differences. Here is a detailed comparison of the first 2 years of the administration's campaign. As has been shown earlier, ang numero po ay hindi po nagsisinungaling. Ito po ay galing sa Philippine National Police.
Yung numero di nagsisinungaling. Pero yung mga nagbabasa ng numero, Di ho natin alam kung di nagsisinungaling yung mga...
Duterte's anti-drug campaign was characterized by an aggressive, highly visible approach involving frequent operations and a high fatality count. His administration focused on eradicating drug activity at all levels, which led to widespread arrests and significant drops in crime, but also raised concerns over human rights and due process.
Wow.
In contrast, the Marcos administration appears to have adopted a more refined approach with an emphasis on
More refined approach. Anak ng tokwa, more refined approach. Sa susunod na video natin, panuorin ho natin yung lalaking nag-amok. Inamin ho niya na nasobrahan siya sa ipinagbabawal na pulburon. More refined approach, yung mga addict nang hahabol ng kutsilyo sa daan. Yun ang more refined approach. Anak ng tokwa, ibang klase talaga tong si Robert H. Barber.
improve crime-solving rates and efficiency in enforcement. The significantly lower number of fatalities coupled with large drug seizures and high-value arrests suggests a strategic pivot towards disrupting drug networks through focused, intelligence-driven operations. This approach may reflect a more sustainable model aiming to dismantle supply chains rather than focusing on sheer arrest numbers or area saturation tactics. In conclusion, both administrations achieved reductions in crime and drug-related offenses.
Dami mong cheche, forward na nga kita. Pakinggan nun natin itong kay Atras Abante. Tingnan natin kung aabante ba siya dito o aatras siya. Okay.
We gather here once more for the
Wait lang. Bago natin umpisahan yan, Brad. Ang tanong ho natin dito, kinausap nyo na ba yung mga resource person yan? Kung di nyo pa kinausap, punta muna kayo dun sa gilid. Kausapin nyo muna.
10th time. Not merely to sit in one of our typical hearings, in order to file one of our usual committee reports, but for something far greater. We have convened again because we cannot and we must not lose sight of the purpose that drives us. The pursuit of justice for the victims of illegal drugs, for the victims of POGOS, and for the victims of extrajudicial killings. To help remind us of why we dedicate so much of our time to this task, I ask you to remember the name of Kian de los Santos, that
Wow.
young man, that minor, whose life was tragically cut short by a bullet fired in the dark.
Wow. Yung mga pulis ho, nakakulong ha. Nakakulong ho yung mga pulis na gumawa. Sabi ni Tatay Digong, basta tama yung trabaho nyo, babakapan ko kayo. Ibig sabihin, yung mga nakadisgrasya doon sa bata na yon, nakakulong ho yung mga pulis na umano doon. Hindi lang naman ho, kahit ngayong mga panahon nitong si Marcos Jr., hindi lang ho nababalita. Pero marami yung nangyayaring krimen ngayong mga panahon na to. Ang kinasasama ho ng loob natin, hindi na ho mga pinaghihinalaang involved sa ipinagbabawal na pulburon ang mga biktima. Bagkus yung mga bata, yung mga naghihintay sa waiting shed, yung mga estudyante, yung mga nagtatrabaho. Ang pinoprotekta naman ho nitong mga walang yang congressman na to, yung karapatan noong mga bangag. Di ba ano ba sabi nitong si Marbil? Ano lang daw yan, pampahaba ng oras.
We are here today for Kian
Nagsama-sama yung mga bangag.
and for the countless innocents like him
Wow.
who died in the name of a misguided
Para doon sa mga kongregasyon nitong mama na to mag-isip-isip po kayo. Hindi naman sa sinisiraan ko yung mama na yan. Meron pang pakwintas-kwintas yan ng ganyan. Wala ako dito para questionin ang pananampalataya nitong mama na to. Pero base sa nakikita natin, yung moral compass nitong matanda na to, dispalighado.
bloody war on drugs. To our people and to everyone here, I say
Dagdagan mo pa ng
enough.
gigil, Brad.
Enough with the gaslighting. Enough with the distractions. Enough with the squid tactics. We cannot be knocked off.
Pusit. Kayo nga dyan, wala kayong ginawa kundi squid tactics. Kaya, lagi niyong pinupusitan ng ink ang mga Duterte. Wala namang ginagawa sa inyo. Sabagay, yung pondo nga naman sa Tuwad Committee, yun ang importante.
Forced by words meant to confuse or mislead. At this point, there is one voice we must focus on. One that was used under oath in the halls of the Senate.
Naku.
Last week, former President Duterte himself spoke before the Senate and the nation. And in his own words, took responsibility for the blood spilled in his war on drugs. He did not deny. He did not deflect.
Grabe, dramatic na dramatic, Brad, ah. Ganyan ka ba pagka nagpipreach ka sa simbahan mo, Brad? Baka binubola din ho kayo, ha? Baka binubola din ho kayo yan. Ingat kayo.
He admitted that he gave orders. Orders that directed our own police forces to encourage suspected criminals to fight back so they could be killed. Under oath, he told us this without shame and without remorse. This was not hearsay. This was not
Yung pagkasabi ni Tatay Digong, tagus talaga eh. Walang remorse, walang shame. Tama lang, dapat lang na walang remorse. Dahil ang pinatutungkulan niya, mga bangag, sira ka ba? May saltik ka ba, Brad? Sa pagkakatanda mo siguro, nakalimutan mo na tama at mali. Ang binabanata ni Tatay Digong, yung pagiging ruthless niya, yung pagiging, ang tawag dito, walang remorse niya, para sa mga bangag at mga gumagawa ng krimen. Kayo, sino pinoprotektahan nyo dyan? Yung mga inmate.
not a speculation. This was a declaration from the man himself. He went further. Under oath, he admitted to the existence of the Davao Death Squad, an entity with a lethal mandate
Gawin yun.
that was replicated around the whole country when PRRD was elected president in 2016. But the former president did not stop there. He pointed his finger at a sitting senator, a member of our very government, and named him a part of the DDS, not a Duterte defending senator, no, but a member of the notorious Davao Death Squad. Ano ang sinabi ni PRRD? And I quote, yung isang senador, yung nakaupo dyan, si Senator De La Rosa, Death Squad rin yan.
Palakpakan natin si Senator Bato. Kasi pinoprotektahan ni Senator Bato yung mga ordinaryong Pilipino. Kayo, sinong pinoprotektahan nyo? By all means, magurgur lahat ng mga kriminal na yan. Lahat ng pahirap sa society, gurgurin na lahat, wala tayong problema dyan. Dahil ang mga biktima dito, yung mga ordinaryong Pilipino, yung mga manggagawa, yung mga bata. Kayo, nakanantokwa.
End of quote. And now comes this
Grabe, kinukote mo na si Tatay Diggs ngayon, ha. Yung matanda na yan, balita ho natin, idol ho niya si Tatay Digong. Pamotor-motor na rin ho ngayon yung walang yan.
familiar refrain. It was all a joke. Biro lamang daw. But I asked you, my friends and my colleagues, I asked you, who makes jokes under oath? Who laughs while mothers bury their sons? Who finds humor in this horror?
Yung mga, para doon sa mga magulang na naglibing ng kanilang mga anak dahil na-involve sa ipinagbabawal na gamot, bantayan nyo ho yung mga anak nyo. Tayo nalulungkot dahil mahal ho natin yung ating mga anak. Magulang din ho ako. Ngayon, pagka yung anak nyo, nagdidispalinghado na yung mga galaw, pagka yan nagdire-diretso, hindi lang ho yung anak nyo yung pwede nyong sisihin dyan. Pati kayo dapat sisihin. Kung bakit naligaw ang landas nila, di ba? Ganun lang ho yun. Ngayon, kung ililibing nyo man sila, ganun ho talaga buhay. Nagbangag sila Ano magagawa natin? Pinasok nila, illegal Ganon. Mang-hold up ako pag nagurgur ako, iiyak yung magulang ko dahil nagurgur ako, ganon. Sisisihin nila gobyerno. Sa kabila ng ginawa ko, mali. Luko-luko ba ako? Itong si Advante, luko-luko yan. Walang, no question asked ka nga. Luko-luko talaga. Paano ba namang di luko-luko papaniwalaan nyo, mga anak ng tokwa, maniniwala kayo sa mga kriminal? Imbis na pakinggan yung boses, yung mga kababayan nating nakasakarsada na hirap na ngayong mga panahon na to dahil napakaraming durugista, ganon. Ayusin natin yung mga buhay natin, ha. Kayo mga kabataan, kung ayaw nyong ilibing kayo ng mga magulang nyo, lumayo kayo sa droga, ganon lang kadali. Ayaw nyong umiyak yung magulang nyo sa paglilibing sa inyo, lumayo kayo sa droga. Dahil sigurado pag naabutan kayo ng mga otoridad, talagang malilibing kayo. Illegal yan Pag pinasok nyo illegal, nagurgur kayo, umiyak magulang nyo, nagsisenti itong si Tandang Abante, kapakasalanan nyo yun. Huwag nyo isisi sa gobyerno, trabaho ng gobyerno, natugisin yung gumagawa ng illegal. Ano bang mahirap intindihin doon? Illegal, ginawa nyo, magugurgur kayo.
This is no laughing matter. The lives lost,
Laping
the
matter
grief
yan.
that lingers, the blood spilled in our streets. These are not punchlines in a cruel joke. These are lives, young innocent lives taken from us. But perhaps we should not be surprised. Perhaps we should not be shocked.
Hirap, no? Ay, hindi yun nila pwedeng pigilan yung paggawa natin ng reaction video sa mga video nila. Wala copyright dyan, Brad!
That this sacred issue, the sanctity of life, is treated so trivially. For we have seen time and time again how human life has been cheapened, how easily these men speak of death, how casually they wash their hands off the blood of the innocent. As Proverbs 31 verse 8 and 9 reminds us, and I quote, "Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy." End of quote. We are commended to raise our voices for those who cannot speak, to seek righteousness for those who have been silenced, and to demand justice for those who have suffered unjustly. This, my friends, this is why we must not falter. This is why we must not rest, why we must not turn away. We have a responsibility.
Okay, tuloy natin ang nangyayaring hearing. Itong si Paduano, mag-grandstanding na ho. Ito yung pinakahihintay ng ating mga kababayan.
That, Mr. Chairman, for the
Mr.
clarification. Now let's go to PIDEA. Provide names of
Chairman.
provinces or areas with AGK-related drugs.
Si Mr. Chairman.
Anyway, I have talked with DG Lasso. Ang problema po, nahirapan silang kumuha ng record. So ongoing to, but I instructed the Lola that the DIDM should provide us all the documents available with regards to all the drug-related killings from 2016 to 2022 and directed them to submit the documents within the day. Within the day po. So let us see if that documents will suffice with regards to the investigation of all EJK cases from 2016 to 2022. Now, to the DFA, they have already submitted the records of Edita Yang, and to the AMLAC with regards to asset preservation order to the properties of Edita Yang and the spouses Pangilinan. Still ongoing, no? Still ongoing. Now, and all other documents that was requested last hearing, that was October 22, was already submitted to the COMSEC, Mr. Chairman. As of, I have just received a document coming from the Legal Affairs Department of the House of Representatives with regards to possible application of granting of legislative immunity to the members, to the witnesses of this investigation, Mr. Chairman.
Wow.
And I move, Mr. Chairman, that discussion on this letter coming from the Legal Affairs will be deferred on the later part of this hearing, Mr. Chairman.
That's
So move,
noted.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, let's go with the invitations, no? Now, I have with, the committee has received a copy of letter coming from the Law Office of Castaños Antebes, representing Ms. Muking Espino, and attached herewith
Si Muking ho yung nagsalita sa Senado, no. Inimbitahan na din ho itong si Muking.
our medical records, no? With regards to the medical status of Ms. Muking Espino, and this is an answer to the show cause order that was issued last October 22, 2024, Mr. Chairman. And with this, Mr. Chairman, I move that we issue a subpoena ad testificandum for Ms. Muking Espino on the next hearing, Mr. Chairman. So move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion to issue a subpoena ad testificandum for Ms. Muking Espino.
Yeah, Muking
Mu-
Espino, Mr. Chairman.
Muking Espino And duly seconded. Are there
Seconded,
any
yeah.
objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
And I would like to inform the COMSEC, Mr. Chairman, through the chairman, that the address supposedly to send invitation for Ms. Smoking Espino should be in the city government of Davao, because Smoking Espino is employed in the said local government unit, Mr. Chairman.
COMSEC, please take note of the address of Ms. Ermina Espino.
We have also received a copy of a letter coming from the lawyer of Senator Bongo. His explanation why he cannot attend today's hearing, Mr. Chairman. Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy from the Chief of Staff of Senator Bongo in the person of Gregorio Angelo Villar, Mr. Chairman.
That's noted.
Mr. Chairman, we have also received a
Ikaw ba, ano ka ba? Ikaw ang COMSEC? COMSEC na trabaho mo.
letter
Pagida talaga itong mga to. Pati trabaho ng COMSEC
that
kinukuha na.
was signed by Cesar P. Manalaysay, managing partner of Mr. Len Wishong, and informing this committee that Mr. Len Wishong is currently out of the country and will not be able to attend the hearing today. While Ms. Rose Nunulin, the spouse of Mr. Len Wishong, is also present today. Thank you for coming, ma'am. Next is the letter coming from Attorney Carpio. Attorney Mans Carpio. And in this letter, Mr. Chairman, he is requesting, requesting to be excused on today's hearing because of no ample time to prepare and study the nature, purpose, and scope, and is requesting 4 copies of the following documents at least 3 days before the next schedule: affidavits of witnesses, minutes of the previous meetings, inquiries, other similar unrelated documents or statements. Mr. Chairman, with this, Mr. Chairman, I move that we defer discussion on this letter sent to us by Mr. Mans Castro to be discussed, Carpio, to be discussed on the later part of this hearing, Mr. Chairman. With regards to the documents being requested by Mr. Carpio, Mr. Chairman. So move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion as stated. Any second? Duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
And we have received a copy of a letter coming from the former Commissioner Faildon. And since he's present, I think I've seen
Yes,
Faildon.
former Commissioner
Yeah.
Faildon is present.
Mr. Chairman, since he's present in today's hearing, we'll just ask him about the content of his letter in the later part when the time of former Commissioner Faildon will be up to. Again, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy of a statement from the Science Batch 80 with regards to the Barrioga case, and calling for justice. Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy of this letter coming from Science High School Batch 80. And we have also a copy of a letter coming from the Department of Foreign Affairs with regards to the whereabouts of Bismaila Roque, whereabouts of Eddie Yang, Aka Yang Jing, and the basis for cancellation of US visa of Ms. Ruina Garma, Mr. Chairman. Just for the record, Mr. Chairman. And if the committee would want to discuss about it, we will discuss this in the later part of this hearing, Mr. Chairman. And lastly, third to the last na po, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy, a letter coming from the former retired Police Senior Superintendent Eduardo Arceto. As for my knowledge, he is with our meeting today's hearing through Zoom, Mr. Chairman.
We have extended an invitation to the former Colonel Acerto, who is now in Zoom, and will be called later later in the day when we resume our discussions after the admin matters, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, second to the last na lang po to. We have also received a letter coming from Mercado and Associates Law Office representing Police Colonel Hector Gijaldo, and attached with is a contract between Police Colonel Grijaldo and the services of Mercado and Associates Law Office. And the letter was signed by Attorney J.P. Mercado. Is Attorney Mercado present? Comsec? Attorney Mercado? Okay. Mr. Chairman, we defer discussion on the letter of Hector Police Colonel Grijaldo since the lawyer of the good Colonel Grijaldo is present. We will just ask the lawyer later, Mr. Chairman. And his official entry of appearance in today's hearing. Now, lastly, Mr. Chairman, just a while ago, we have received now,
Mr. Chair,
no?
with the indulgence of the Honorable Paduano,
With the indulgence of Congressman Paduano, Congressman Acop, you're recognized.
may I know if Colonel Grijaldo has an excuse letter insofar as his absence in today's hearing is concerned?
None. Attached here with is the letter, no cover letter of coming from the lawyer himself, and at the same time, only attached medical certificates without a letter.
Sinunod ho nitong si Colonel Grijaldo yung advice natin sa kanya. Na magkasakit muna siya.
There is excuse coming from Colonel Grijaldo, Mr. Chairman.
Ayos.
Mr. Chair,
It's a
may I
time.
move that we issue a show cause order to Colonel Grijaldo to explain his absence in today's hearing in spite of the invitation made. So move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion to issue a show cause order to Colonel Grijaldo for being absent today. Any second?
Second.
Duly seconded. Any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
And lastly, Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
just on the topic of
Pagol, Pagol ho
Colonel
yan eh.
Hector Grijaldo, I was going through the pages that were sent regarding his absence. Nakikita ko po dito sa kanyang patients first. Apparently, this is a medical explanation kung why he is not here because he's suffering from